Okay, I think we'll get started. So thanks again, everyone, for joining. As I said, my name is Josh Horowitz. I'm the Digital Library and Advertising Sales Director here at ACM, and I'm pleased to give you an overview of the new Digital Library platform. So this session will cover both end user training as well as administrator level training. So to start, I'd like to just give a very quick overview of ACM for those who may not be familiar with who we are. We are a oh, I'm sorry. I just saw that note. Yes, I am recording this session. So thank you for that. ACM is the world's oldest and largest computing society, started just after World War II. And we are a membership organization. There's really three core facets to our organization. We're a membership organization of about 100,000 members worldwide. So that makes up scientists, practitioners, students, faculty. We are a umbrella organization of 37 different special interest groups, or what we call SIGs. So each one of those SIGs has its own area of focus in a field of computer science. Those SIGs put on about 170 or so conferences each year, and from those conferences is presented and published a good amount of the research that we publish as a publisher. So the third facet of our organization is as a publisher. That's the department I work in, and we publish roughly 25,000 new articles each year. Otherwise, we're also active in public policy and things like curriculum development, and we're probably best known for the AM Turing Award, which is something that we award each year, which has become known popularly as the Nobel Prize in Computer Science. Just some facts on the ACM Digital Library itself. So you can see, I guess the first thing to mention is that the URL is remaining the same, dl.acm.org. So that shouldn't change. All of the URLs on the site have permanent redirects, so there shouldn't be any issues as far as that goes. The digital library is really comprised of two different indices. There's what we call the full text collection, which is all of the full text articles available in research, and there's about 570,000 of those at the moment. The other index is what we call the Guide to Computing Literature, which is a more comprehensive index that's really tracking the universe of computer science publications. So that index right now has about 2.8 or 2.9 million publication records. And so we're tracking these publication, we're tracking bibliometrics on a continual basis for all of these different publications. The DL, as we call it, is subscribed to by about 2,700 institutions worldwide and has about 2 to 3 million unique visitors each year. Okay, so now I'd like to jump over to the new site. And as I said, the URL remains dl.acm.org. The new site is completely mobile responsive. So essentially this site, the mobile version of this site will be replacing the Digital Library app that we had. At the top right, you'll see up here it says ACM Association for Computing Machinery. So this means that I am right now authenticated in to view the full text contents. Typically, the user, the end user would see the name of their university or affiliated institution here. At the top right is also where I would sign into my ACM web account. So I really encourage everyone if they haven't already created an ACM web account to do so. The web account allows you additional functionality as an end user on the site. It also is the primary way that we provide for remote access, but also it is the way that you can get access to administrator functionality on the site as well. So to view usage statistics and things of that nature. So we'll come back to that in a bit. So let me actually go ahead and sign in here. Yes. Okay, so now I'm signed in with my web account, and you can actually see my name up here at the top, saying that I'm signed in. We'll come back to that in a bit. You can see here we have a basic search bar here. So this supports the standard Boolean operators such as and, or not. As we scroll down the home page, what we're really trying to do here is provide really a comprehensive overview of what ACM, what we are, what we do as an organization. So that's, I would say, summarized by these various buttons here. So you can click on any one of these, and it'll take you to more information about either those types of publications. So, for example, ACM magazines, or to information on our special interest groups here. So these are the various SIGs that we mentioned. Each one of them has its own area of focus. And so you can really jump to any aspect of the page here by clicking on one of those buttons. So one of the things we really wanted to do with the new site was really show the people who really make up the ACM, the research community that ACM supports, and we wanted to make those people much more visible. The researchers, make them much more visible on the site. So you can see what we've done here is highlights recent award winners. So these are various individuals who have won. It may be the Turing Award itself, or it may be some sort of ACM fellowship award. But clicking on this individual, clicking on any one of those individuals will bring you to what we call an author profile page. So this is an example of how we're using all of the data that's being fed into the platform in the guide to computing literature, how those bibliometrics are being organized and tracked in various ways. So this is this individual's author profile page showing their career contributions to the field through bibliometrics, essentially. So you can see things like they have institutional affiliations here at the top, any awards that have been won by this person. The person can add their own web page or contact information, and then it shows also information like most frequent co-author, most cited colleague, the subject areas that they're working in the most, institutional affiliations, other bibliometrics across this bar here. And then as we scroll down, you can see other things such as word cloud of subject areas, number of articles published by year over time, keywords that the author has provided that is relevant to their work, most frequent collaborators as far as publication records, and then latest publications here, and most downloaded and most cited articles by this individual. So similarly, the way that we're tracking this information for the individual, we're also doing it at the institutional level. So I'm just going to click on one of the affiliations here. And so this is showing all of the contributions of Carnegie Mellon University over the period of time that anyone affiliated with that institution, with Carnegie Mellon, has published. It's tracking any publication statistics for individuals who are affiliated with the institution at time of publication, and so it's tracking a lot of similar types of metrics here. You can see other institutions that it's co-published with most often, and then again, most popular, most cited articles. So the idea is really increasing visibility of what individuals, what institutions are doing, what types of subject areas they're most involved with, and trying to increase the ability for people to collaborate with each other. So coming back here, I'd just like to point out, again, in that spirit of surfacing individuals, more so on the new site, we have created an entirely new section that we call people. And so this was entirely new on the new site. So again, you can view various researchers by their subject area or by their institutional affiliation, by any ACM designation they may have, and also by geographic area. So again, it's a way to find individuals who you may be interested in learning more about the work that they're doing. Okay, so coming back to the home page, if I scroll down a little bit more, you can see we have this search by subject area. What these are essentially preset searches that are kind of more generalized terms for various areas of computer science. So if we click on one of these, you'll see it brings back search results for the specific information that was preset here. We'll come back to what the search result page looks like in a few minutes. Coming back to the home page, again, you can just continue to scroll down and view different aspects, different publications at ACM. Again, you can look at information about the SIGs. You can look at the various, what we call the ACM collections. There's a lot of information here about our journals, proceedings, et cetera. And I invite you to learn more about all these different aspects of our organization. One thing to note is that you can always click on this up arrow at the bottom to quickly scroll back up to the top. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a basic search. So one thing that's new on the site is the search, as you can see, as I'm typing in a search term, it's actually showing recommendations here. So I typed in Lamport, and you can see it actually brought up Leslie Lamport, which was the term I was looking for. And this is one of the more recent AM Turing Award winners. So just to show that the search bar will show recommendations based on what you're typing in, and then also that the search now will surface individuals, actual people. So on the old site, the search was limited to just basically keywords or metadata associated with the articles. Now we have the ability to actually search on people. So I'm going to enter in another. So you can see again, it's showing different possible search terms based on what I've been entering. So this is an example of a search results page. So the first thing I want to mention is, as I was discussing at the beginning of the session, where the platform really has two different aspects: the full text and then the guide to computing literature. You can see at the top here, the default setting on the platform is to only return the full text results. So you can see there's about 39,000 results that come back for this search term. You can choose then to toggle the results to also include the guide to computing literature, which includes that comprehensive index of records, many of which are not available in full text on our platform because we don't publish them and don't have the rights to publish them. But those articles, even though we don't have them in full text, we will have the DOIs available for them that will take you to where the article may be viewed or purchased at that publisher's website. Again, the default setting is to only show full text contents. So one new feature as far as search results go are the ability to look at different content types based on the search term that you've entered. So the first one is obviously articles, but you can also see, for example, what videos are related to the search term you've entered, as well as software artifacts, and also data sets, or also people. On the left-hand side, we can see various faceted search options here. I think pretty standard, so institutional affiliation, individuals who are authors or may have been editors on the publication, things like that, or reviewers down here, publication name or type, or conference, where the affiliated conference where it was presented. Okay, so if we look here, just take one of these search results, we can see these icons here down here. Just hovering over these two icons here will show you just quick information, bibliometric information about this article. And so you can see this one has had 19 total citations and 925 total downloads. It's also tracking how many downloads over the last 12 months and also over the last 6 weeks. On the right-hand side, you have other options here to quickly export this article as a citation in various formats here. You can choose to save the article to a binder, and this is this is some of the functionality that's available to you with your web account. So we'll take a look at that in a little bit once we get to that part of the presentation. But you can also view online either with e-reader or to actually access the PDF article itself. So if we go to an actual article citation page, you can see, we have abstract, of course. At the top, we have authors. We have this new link here, authors, info, and affiliations. If we click on that, that brings up a side panel here that shows information about the individual contributors and also information about the article itself. So the publication name, publisher, any sort of tag, keyword tags that have been applied by the authors, etc. Coming back to the contributors, if we can quickly view the bibliometrics for this individual and link directly to their author profile page. On the left-hand side is also something new. This box here allows you to quickly go to any part of the page, to navigate to any part of the page down here. You can also this previous and next. This is just allowing you to move between the different articles in this actual publication. If we continue to scroll down a bit, we can see all the references here. One of the new things that we've incorporated is now full reference linking for all the references on the platform. So that would be either those in the digital library itself or via Google Scholar or Crossref. As we continue to scroll down, you'll see on the right-hand side here and down the bottom, there's a window that pops up that's offering other recommended articles you might be interested in based on the subject area metadata of this article page that we're on. Okay, now I'd like to talk about the ACM web account in a bit more detail. So as I mentioned, my name here is saying that I've been signed in. The web account is the primary way that most folks get remote access to the digital library. So the way that works is that if you are within your institution's authenticated environment, typically that's by IP address, but not always, and you use your web account to sign in while you're inside of that authenticated environment, the system will recognize your login and allow you to use that login to access the full text from outside of the institutional authenticated environment for up to 6 months. So after that 6-month period has passed, provided your institution still has access to the digital library, you would just need to go back into your institutional authenticated environment, sign in again with your web account, and then you would get an additional period of remote access. So I mentioned the binders before. So you can see there's a menu here. When I clicked on my name for my web account, you see different options here. So one of those options is my binders. So the way you can add an article, the binders are basically a way that you can organize and annotate the research that you're working with on the page, and also share it with other individuals. So the way you can add an article to your binder is by simply clicking on this icon here, and you can see it's bringing up the various binders that I've already created. Of course, you could name these whatever you like. I've done it by subject, but of course you could do it by class, name of the class or a project that you're working on. Or you can also create a new binder here if you'd like to do that. I've chosen to save to test binder. So when I go then to my binders, you can see these are the various binders that I've created. The test binder is here. These are the articles that I've added. So it tells you when it was added today. You can do various things here. View the article, export citations, remove. You can also create a PDF of the entire contents of the binder, so you can take it offline and work with all of that, and it would include the annotations that you've added here. And then you can also choose to share your binder with other individuals. So if you click on this icon here, you would just need to enter the email address for the web account of the person you'd like to share with. And obviously they would need to have a web account as well in order to take advantage of it. But once you chose to share it, they would get an email saying, informing them that they've been invited to share the contents of the binder, and then they could choose to accept that. Okay, so the next thing I'd like to cover is the advanced search features. So you'll notice anytime you're on the site, you'll see the basic search box is available up here in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. And next to that is the advanced search. So clicking on that takes us to the advanced search screen. So again, the first option is given whether you would like to search only within the full text collection or also to include the guide to computing literature. So I should also mention that searching within the guide to computing literature will also return results from the full text collection. But the full text collection obviously does not include the additional publication records from the guide. And then you can choose to set up various filters or parameters for the search that you'd like to perform. So you can see it's basically set up as sort of a filtering system. So you could choose the field that you'd like to define, and we just do a sample search here, and then you can add additional parameters here by clicking on the plus screen and say we wanted to only look for articles on cloud computing from Carnegie Mellon. You can continue to add additional filters as you'd like, but then below you can add additional parameters such as publication or a funding agency that was involved with the publication. Anyone that has what we call artifact badges, which are a project that ACM undertook to show the reproducibility of results of certain article research. So this is a fairly new program, but it is, you'll see the badges show up on various article results, showing the various level of reproducibility that has been proven. We didn't talk much about the CCS, but this is the computing classification system. So this is a taxonomy of computer science terms, and it's used as sort of a backbone of metadata to link content on the site. But you can also use that here, or of course you can say I only want results from this particular publisher. Finally, you can limit by publication date. So you can say, I just want last month or 6 months or a year. I want everything, or I want to enter a custom range here by month and year. So if we go ahead and just run that search, you'll see I have the option to save the search here on this blue button. So this is another functionality that's made available by having the web account set up. So if I go ahead and save the search, I can enter the search name, call it whatever I'd like, and then I can also choose to get alerts for whenever there's new results related to the search that I've entered. So you can say I don't want any alerts, or daily alerts, weekly or monthly alerts. And then coming back to your profile, you can take a look at the saved searches. You can then run them again, or delete them, you know, et cetera. Okay, so I'd like to now talk about the administrator functionality involved with the profile. So again, I'm signed in here, and I am at my profile page. So this is my basic information here. This is actually looking at my for example, you'll see it says access entitlement. So this is looking at my the content I have access to as an individual. So it's important to note that, you know, we have many individuals who are also subscribing to the digital library just as individuals, and so they may have certain subscriptions to various publications, or they may have purchased articles on a pay-per-view basis, and this would show them that content that they've got access to. And so this is looking at it from the individual perspective, but you can also see the alerts again that I've created. So that includes content alerts, or also any time an article you've selected is being cited, you can get that alert, or alerts from new publications from various conferences in the conference proceedings. As I mentioned, we have the saved searches here under my account, and then you can see any institutional affiliations that you may be involved with as an ACM member or individual. So so coming across at the top again, we have the other aspects that we mentioned. So the binders, and then on the right-hand side we have what we call the institutions account. So this is only visible to those who are administrators. So if you if you want to be an administrator for your institution, we would just ask you to contact us, and we'll verify it, and we can set you up for that access via your web account. So I've actually signed in as an administrator for our ACM trial account, just because you know, for privacy reasons, I don't want to show anyone's actual entitlements or usage. So you can see here it's showing ACM trial. Now this is something that can be helpful for a consortium administrator, a consortium of libraries. You would have the ability to click down and see all the different member institutions in your consortium. I only, in this case, have administrative rights for this one account, so that's the only option. Again, so this is now showing access entitlements at the institutional level, and you can see that showing all the different publications that are available under the digital library subscription, and also the expiration date of the current subscriptions access. The holdings file here will take you to a link that allows you to download a KBART title list. And then the usage reports, we offer 3 different types at the moment of usage reports. So we have the ACM reports, we have the counter 5 usage, and then the counter 4 usage. So the counter 4 usage is only tracking through the first quarter. I'm sorry. No, the counter 4 data is made available through the end of 2019, and the actual we foresee that this actual report type will be visible through at least the first quarter of next year. I mean, I'm sorry, this year. The counter 5 is what's really showing all the content moving forward now on the news site. But you will see that the legacy reports will always be available here in a zip file. So you'll always have access to those, so you won't lose those. So if we come back to the ACM reports, clicking on the View ACM Reports brings you to, an overview screen. So the ACM reports are actually the reports that I look at the most, you know, ACM staff I think look at the most. They're based on counter-vetted statistics, but they just provide types of usage metrics. This may just take a second to load. We're working on getting this to load more quickly. And so you can see a dashboard here just showing different basic metrics for the account. At the top, you can see filters here. Looks like it's still there. So you can again, if you're a consortium administrator, you can choose the institution that you have access. You may have the institution that you'd like to look at, but you can also look at various date ranges here. Apologies for the delay. This is just going to bring up various pie charts or bar charts. Oh, here we go. So yeah, again, we're working on getting that to load more quickly, but this is an example of the dashboard that you'll see for your institution. So this is, again, for the trial statistics. So it's not really representative of what a typical institution would see. But over here we have a pie chart showing the investigations, which is a Counter 5 term, by publication type. So in this case, there's only been one publication type, which is journals, but typically you'll see a large part of this pie will be proceedings, investigations. So investigations refer to any user activity that is not directly related to actual content, whereas what are downloads are referred to as any user activity related to actual content. So you can see over here, there's no download activity here, but you typically would again have a pie chart here with various types of publications. So that would include like journals or proceedings or magazines or newsletters or things like that. This chart shows number of visitors and also number of visits by month, as well as the average session duration during that time. Down here, again, we have actual numbers of investigations and downloads by month and number of searches by month. So this is just a quick way for you to get a sense of the overall activity from your organization. Then at the top, we have a pull-down menu here, and you'll see this provides the various what we call ACM reports. So this one is typically used by us here. This is just showing total number of full text article downloads by month over time, and it would provide also by publication name. The top sheet summary is showing other types of activity, such as page views on abstracts, full text PDF hits, searches, things like that, TOC views, things like that. We also offer IP-based usage, so this is looking at page views by various IP addresses. You can look at usage by article name, by journal name, by magazines, by newsletters, etc., by ACM books, or by the various institution in your. So this is again something that would be used for by a consortium, not for a individual institution. So coming back to the reports again, you can see again this is where you can download the legacy counter reports, and that about wraps up the presentation. And I'll just bring up my contact information here, and I'm happy to take any questions if anyone has any. You can either chat or just choose to speak. No questions? Okay. Well, thank you very much. And again, my contact information is here. If you think of any questions, please do feel free to reach out, and we'll post the webinar on our Library Resource Center. And again, thank you very much. Oh, let's see. Thank you very much. So that's a nice comment. Yeah, we'll take comments as well. So thank you so much, and have a great day.